Today I'm very excited because I want to speak to you about something very transformative. How do you get a massive EIN only business loan from Citibank with bad or fair credit? Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today's convo, I want to speak to you about how to get a massive EIN only business loan from Citibank with poor or fair credit. Yeah, I hear a lot of people already are thinking, well, you know what? You can never get a good loan, a good business loan with bad or fair credit from Citibank. No, there is a possibility. There is a constellation of possibilities that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. The first thing you need to do is you need to bank with Citi. Folks, this is very important. If you have a skinny FICO score, you need to work on getting a fat checking account. Let me repeat that. You cannot have a skinny FICO score and also a skinny checking account. Two skinnies don't work. You need to have at least one fat checking account. Either your FICO score is fat and your checking account is skinny, or vice versa. Or if you're lucky, then you have the two things are fat. So you have a fat checking account and a fat credit score. What I'm trying to tell you here is that you need to establish your relationship with Citi. It's very important. If you want to get an EIN only business loan from Citibank with bad or fair credit, you need to have at least a checking account and a savings account. Okay, we call those asset accounts. So as you can see here, with Citi, Citi, of course, is really a financial giant, right? So they have all kinds of products and services. So in terms of checking, they have Citi Business Streamlined Checking Account, Citi Business Flexible Checking Account, Citi Business Analyzed Checking Account, Citi Business Interest Checking Account. In terms of savings, they have Citi Business Insured Money Market Account, the IMA, the Citi Business Savings Account, and they also have Citi Business Certificates of Deposit, the CDs. So if you have those asset account, then you are improving your chances of getting an EIN only business loan from Citibank, because the lender is going to look at your financial situation, not only looking at your credit score, but also the kind of rosy financial picture that you present, because you have cash in your banking and your checking accounts or your savings account. So this is very important. You want to have asset account, either checking and or saving, so that you can counteract the negative criteria, the negative impact that comes from your less than stellar credit score. Okay, so when we talk about CDs, you can actually save money with Citi, or you can actually ask Citi to invest the money for you, the extra cash that you have. They can invest it for you on the financial markets. But of course, you gotta really choose a product that fits your risk profile. So the first step is you need to bank with Citi. You need to establish a relationship with Citi. Second step is you need to explore Citi lending. So if your goal is to get an EIN only business loan with Citibank, you need to sort of first know the constellation of loan products that the lender has. Okay, so let's do that. So when you talk about Citibank, of course, you have all kinds of loans, right? So you have business installment loan, you have business lines of credit, you have healthcare practice finance, you have commercial mortgages. So when we talk about business installment loan, this is actually the topic of today's conversation. You have loans that oscillates from 5,000 all the way to 5 million. So you can get the financing for buying equipment, expanding operations, and other specific long terms. Then you also have business lines of credit, lines that go from $10,000 to $5 million. So with that, you get the funds you can draw from as needed to manage your short-term, recurring, or unexpected cash flow needs. Then we have the healthcare practice finance. So if you are in that field, You can use loans from a $250,000 to $5 million to acquire, refinance, or expand a medical, dental, or vet practice. And then you have commercial mortgages. Here, the loans oscillate from $250,000 to $5 million. And what I'm trying to say here is that when we think about Citi, you have to think about the fact that they have all kinds of business, all kinds of loan programs for all kinds of credit profiles. The only thing is, a lot of people, owing to ignorance or owing to misinformation, they believe mistakenly that they cannot get a loan from a large bank such as Citi or Chase simply because they have either a weak EIN or a bad personal credit score. So this is not true. You have to know how to build your relationship. And so this is important. So when we talk about exploring Citi lending, business lines of credit, term loans, installment loans, healthcare practice finance, commercial mortgage. So you have to think about what really works for you, okay? Let me ask you a question. This is the decision time here. What do you really need right now from Citi? Do you need a term loan or do you need a business line of credit? What do you need and why do you need the money? What is the use of loan proceeds? I want you to answer me, not me, but answer yourself, because before you go to Citi to apply for the loan, the EIN only loan, you better have a clear idea of what you need the money for. And it's not always clear unless you actually have your financial statements. You're able to prepare something called the statement of cash flows so you can analyze and see exactly the destination of funds, right? Because the cash flow statement will show you the cash inflows and cash outflows. The third thing I want you to pay attention to is to get organized. This is so important, folks. This is quite essential. I don't care what kind of stage you're in right now. I don't care if you are an established business or you are a startup or a very young business. You need to get organized at all times, especially if you have a bad credit or a fair credit score and you're trying to get a loan, a business loan, EIN only from Citibank. You better be ready, because Citibank has experts in all categories. They're going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper in your application to make sure that you have crossed all the T's and you have dotted all the I's. Okay, so when I'm talking about getting organized, the first thing I want you to do is to get your EIN. Now, you've watched a lot of videos about how to get an EIN, so I'm not going to waste any time on that. You just have to go to the IRS's website. You enter the necessary information and you get your EIN. Very simple. Now, the thing here is that an EIN is just a number. As I always say, when people hear the term EIN only business loan, they think, oh, wow, I'm just going to put my EIN on the form and get qualified. This is just so crazy. This is so funny. The reason is that the EIN is just a number, a unique identifier that the IRS has assigned to your business so that you're not tempted to play games with the United States government when it comes to paying taxes. That's all. They just try, it's just like a social. Okay, so if your EIN is lethargic, in other words, if the company surrounding the EIN is weak, you're not getting any loan, any business loan. No, you better stop dreaming. If that's what you're thinking, you better stop dreaming. So get organized, get your EIN. You want to start writing a business plan. If you have no talents for writing business presentation, you want to outsource the task. Okay. You can hire someone locally, you can hire someone online, or you can use software. You also need to get something called the certification of beneficial owners. If you have several owners or you're the only person, you want to get that. You need to have all the licenses and permits. You need to get all your articles of incorporation or organization. You need to set up your accounting. Okay. You need to prepare financial statements. I'm talking a full set of financial statements that includes a balance sheet, an income statement, a statement of cash flows, and a statement of owner's equity. One thing I want to say here is that if you are a sole proprietorship, don't even dream about getting an EIN only business loan from Citi. They're not even going to pay attention to you. If they had a gate, if they had a door, they're not even opening the door to you, because you're wasting their time and you're wasting your time. You need to incorporate. You got to be an LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp. I don't care, whatever, but do not remain a sole proprietorship. If you have a gig right now, if you have a side gig where you're just trying to make cash on the side, that's pretty good. But if you want to play in the big league, if you want to get a massive EIN only loan, business loan from Citi, then you better be ready. Step number 4, I want you to explore Citi services. So if you remember, we a little 5 minutes ago, we were exploring Citi lending. Now I want you to pay attention because you have to explore also Citi services. What am I trying to say here, folks? I'm trying to tell you that if you have bad or fair credit and you're trying to establish you're trying to get an EIN only business loan from Citibank, you need to establish your relationship. Okay? Simply because you have bad or fair credit doesn't disqualify you. I'm showing you how the game is played. I'm showing you how the big entrepreneurs are playing the game. You need to establish a relationship so that the bank, the lender, in this case Citibank, is looking at you differently. They're not paying attention to your bad credit anymore or to your fair credit. They're paying attention to the whole package that you're showing them. So you explore the lending. Now you have to explore the services. Why are you exploring Citi services? Because if Citi is offering a service that your business needs at this current moment, I would say go ahead and get that service from Citi. You want Citi to eat your pizza so you can eat their pizza too. You want Citi to actually get your business so you can get their business too. It has to work both ways, all right? It has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Don't just walk around and just bank with Chase or Wells Fargo and knock on Citi's door and say, I need a EIN business loan from you. It ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening. You got to get real here. The whole idea is to establish a rapport that is mutually beneficial to both parties. So when it comes to services, Citi offers things like cash management, digital banking, Citi merchant services. They also have programs that are bespoke to certain industries. So they have healthcare professionals, they have programs for legal professionals, accounting professionals, and property managers. The point here is very simple. They also have preferred programs. So because you have to understand that Citi understands that the business world is replete with complexities, right? Whether you are an online seller on Amazon or you are a garage owner somewhere in South Dakota, it's all about having a bank, a lender that understands the complexities of the business that you're in. And Citi has that. This is a financial behemoth, right? I mean, everybody knows Citi has been around for a while now. I mean, for a long time. They understand the whole economy. You want to benefit from their expertise. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Kiwi Show. How are you today? We are still having a conversation about how to get a massive EIN only business loan from Citibank with bad or fair credit. The next thing I want you to pay attention to is number 5. I want you to explore Citi credit cards, because God forbid things can happen if you don't get qualified for a loan because of whatever reasons. I have no idea. You might qualify for a Citi credit card. So the more knowledge you acquire about Citi credit cards, the better position you are, because when you have that conversation with the Citi banker, you understand everything about their business anyway. So they can't tell you stuff that you don't know already. Okay, so you want to explore Citi credit cards. So when we talk about Citi credit cards, we have a few cards that I want to pay attention to. But in this show, I just want to pay attention to two cards that you might find interesting. Okay, so you have the Citi Business Advantage Platinum Select MasterCard. This is a card where you can earn American Airlines Advantage bonus miles with Citi Business. You can earn 65,000 bonus miles after making 4,000 in purchases within the first 4 months of account opening. And with this card, the credit limit is up to $500,000. The recommended credit score is a 690 to 850. However, Citi can go as low as 585. Okay, so Citi can go as low as 585 when reviewing a business's application. The thing here is that when it comes to underwriting a business loan or a business credit card application, you have the standard that the risk department at every lender sets. So they say, you know what, we don't want to worry about people who have people who are outside of this band. We don't want them. But the thing is that there are always exceptions to the rule if you know how to actually interpret the rules and you know how to play the game. So Citi for this card can go as low as 585 in terms of FICO score. You have another card. This is the Citi Business Advantage Platinum Select MasterCard. Okay, actually, this is the same card. Actually, this is the same card. But what I wanted to do is that what I wanted to say rather is that the card also offers rewards. Okay, they have rewards and program details. As a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at the whole thing here, I only want to show you one card, not two, because the thing is that based on our research, this is the best card for someone in your category. In other words, if you have bad or fair credit, you might find this card interesting. And the reason why we chose the card is that not only can Citi go as low as 585 in their review, the card is kind of cool for folks who actually travel a lot. If you are in that kind of business, or your business needs the traveling and you want to enjoy flat perks, business perks, convenience, and other stuff, then this card might be a great card for you. Step number 6, folks. I want you to talk to a banker. This is very important. Here is a decision time for you. So I've been talking to you about all the things you need to do. I've been talking to you about exploring loans, exploring Citi services, exploring Citi credit cards. Is there anything that you feel it is suitable for your business? I want you to think right now. I want you to write down some of the services that you believe can be suitable for your business. Is there anything that Citi offers today that you believe can be profitable, can be, I would say, conducive to your business? Whether it is a service, whether it is a loan, whether it is a checking account or savings account, write it down. This is important. And don't answer me. You have to answer the Citi banker when you speak to them. See, because if you do this analysis beforehand, if you go through this analytical journey by yourself or with your team beforehand, then when you meet the banker, you're able to have a fruitful conversation. Okay, you want to discuss with the banker about your liquidity situation, your borrowing needs. First of all, why do you even need to talk to a banker, right? You might say, oh, well, I can just go on the internet. I have an app. I can just apply. I can just apply for a loan on the internet. You'll never do this. Never. If you're trying to get an EIN-only business loan from Citibank or from another bank for that matter, and you have bad or fair credit, you want to stay away from online platforms. You want to talk to someone. You want to have a conversation with people. You want to talk to someone before you apply. And talking to a banker, you basically are getting the inside information, the inside intel that you need before applying for the loan. Okay, and so there are a few things that you can actually ask the banker so you know exactly what you're putting yourself into. For example, how much can Citi approve for? Okay, is my business doing well? In other words, you might be thinking your business is doing well, but from the banker's perspective, it's not really doing that well. And are some seasons more profitable than others? So here we are talking about seasonality, cyclicality, right? Do you need to build your credit either at the business level or at the personal level? Are you ready to expand? Can you afford to buy all the equipment you need to run your business? The whole idea here is to get free financial advice from the banker. Let me just repeat that. By talking to a Citi banker, you are getting indirectly free financial advice because they can tell you based on your business plan, for example, that, hey, listen, we have gone through the documents, we believe this and this and this and that. That way you can adjust things and come back. Step number 7, folks. We are talking today about how to get a business loan from Citibank with bad or fair credit. Not any kind of business loan. We are talking about an EIN-only business loan, right, folks? Okay. Number 7, you want to finalize and apply. This is important, folks. Before you even finalize, you want to contact Citi. So you want to have the banker that I was just telling you earlier. That banker needs to become, quote unquote, your friend, your business advisor. You have to stay in contact with that lender or that banker. So once you sense that things are moving in the right direction, you want to get your act together. You want to meet your banker one last time. You want to double check your application package, and most importantly, you want to pay attention to your business plan and your financial statements. Those two things are quintessential. They constitute the fulcrum of your business application package. Okay, your business plan is what's going to talk about, is going to indicate where your company was, where it is, and where it's going. Think of it as a compass. It's the operational compass that allows you, really, when you think about it, to move in a specific direction. And you have to pay attention to your financial statements also. Again, when I speak about financial statements, I'm speaking about the 4 financial statements. A lot of folks just build 3 financial statements and they leave the 4th. So that they just prepare a balance sheet, an income statement, and a statement of cash flow, and they forget about the statement of owner's equity. This is important because Citi wants to know the ownership structure of your business, okay? And that statement, the statement of owner's equity, provides that info. And so you also want to follow up. So once you apply, you want to apply at the branch, to not apply online. I've already said that. You want to apply at the branch. You want to send the paperwork at the branch, and you want to follow up. If there are questions, you want to contact them. If there are questions and they contact you, you want to respond promptly. Okay, do not play games with the lender. Do not ghost them. You just want to request. You want to respond to the request for evidence. Okay, and this is important. So if you follow all these steps, I can guarantee you that you will get a loan. Now, I have no idea how much you would get. I have no idea the terms of the loan, but you would have done a lot of stuff that will put you in a strong position to get a loan you deserve and the loan that you need to move forward with your company. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you quickly about how to get a massive EIN-only business loan from Citibank with bad or fair credit. First, you need to bank with Citi. Number 2, you need to explore Citi lending. Number 3, you need to get organized. Number 4, you need to explore Citi services. Number 5, you want to explore Citi credit cards. Number 6, you want to talk to a banker, very important. Number 7, you want to finalize and apply. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I will speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.